Calm. I have my beautiful friend here with me, Cheryl Bailey, and we are going to be focusing on grounding our body and stretching the present moment awareness of our body. And I would just love to welcome Cheryl. Cheryl, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for doing this with me today. Cheryl is the founder and CEO of Grit and Grace. She is an educator, a speaker, a #1 selling author in Women Who Illuminate, right?
That's right.
And she's also a 200-hour certified mindful meditation coach. Girlfriend, thank you so much for being here with me today and sharing and spreading a little bit of your love and what you do every day for everybody here on this group. I'm truly honored to have you. So if you could just give us like a day in, especially with everything that's going on today in this world. There's everything going on with COVID-19. It's a scary, scary time here in our lives. And, being a woman or a mom or, a wife or whatever it is that we are currently in, there's a lot going on in our world. And, we're looking for these little quiet moments for ourselves to kind of get grounded, stretch. And I'd love for you to share and give us some advice. And, what can we do? What can we do when we're feeling in this rut, in this, craziness
Time.
that's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, Tara. I so appreciate the ability to share with you and anyone who is hopping in and listening to this. I feel so called in these times now to share whatever it is that's on my heart that I can share with people to help them navigate these times, because it is way different, way outside of our comfort zone. I don't think any of us would have thought or dreamt up such a situation. And so we as a nation, we as a world right now have been really brought to our knees. And so when that has happened, I think what I've done is draw from my internal resources, from my toolkit, as I like to say, right? So it's now maybe time to dive into that toolkit and start looking at it and like, what kind of tools do I have in that toolkit? We know a toolkit, if we had one in our house, those are the things that we would use to, nail something up or staple something together or hold something together, right? And so the toolkit that we can pull from our resources that we've taught us ourselves over time on how to draw from. And this is when we need to dig deep and say, what do I got? What have I learned? And even if you haven't learned it, what a great time to learn now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say present moment awareness, as we were talking a little bit before we hopped on here, is a great way to navigate this time. Having the practice of meditation in my life and going through the 200 hours, it's a super great tool that grounds me every day. I don't start my day ever without the practice of meditation.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't meditate or haven't started yet, it's a great time, and just start with just 1 minute or 2 minutes. And it's really just about sitting in stillness and noticing what's going on. So we talked a little bit, not going on in your external world, what's going on in your internal world, right? We're focusing on ourself. We're sitting in stillness. We're closing our eyes. We're shutting out the external world, and we're focusing on our internal world, right? We have all the answers within. We know what we need to do. We just need to listen to ourselves intuitively.
And
So,
it's tough sometimes, especially me, being a mom,
yes,
you have all this craziness. And as we're talking, my kids are upstairs running. And that's what I'm hearing is
yeah,
like,
and you're hearing that,
I'm
right?
focused in here. And it could be hard sometimes. People might not have that away space where they can go.
Yes,
And that's what I shared with you earlier is that my time to meditate and get grounded and pray is in the shower at night because my
yes.
kids are sleeping. And that is my time. I'm washing away all the stress throughout the day
Yes.
and allowing that all flow off me. And that's where it comes to me. So it might be a different space for everybody.
Right. And it's okay. We can all make it look like whatever we need to suit our individual self. A tool that I would share immediately with everyone is when you begin to focus on your breath, that has the ability to bring you into present moment awareness. So if I were to say to you right now, Tara, let's take 3 long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose.
Yeah.
Last time in, really filling up completely, and then exhaling. That is sending a signal to your body that everything is okay right now in this present moment.
I just went like kind of like numb, like
Yeah,
a good
right,
numb, like everything
right.
was released. Yeah.
Because starting from here and bringing it down, it's just taking a mindful moment, scanning your body, checking in. How am I showing up? How am I feeling? Let's notice the breath. So that's one thing that could immediately reset your nervous system. Because when we are anxious and when we are stressed, it's what's going on within the physical structures of our brains and what's how our nervous system is not settled. So taking those breaths begins to settle your nervous system and train your brain to come into a relaxed state. So that's one great way, just focusing your breath and starting small.
It helps to reset it too, your mind. That if you are thinking
Absolutely.
anything bad or negative, immediately, like you said, refocusing on that breath in your body, your mind is trying to forget everything that you were thinking. So you can restart a positive thought.
Exactly. So when we're thinking of how we're going to control our future, how we're going to show up, what's going to happen, we need to relinquish that control because that's sparking anxiety internally. And if you're thinking about things that you could change from the past, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, that's going to show up as stress. And so really we want to keep ourselves in the middle lane, which is present moment, because really for all of us, this is the only moment that we have. And what's happening right here in this moment? Well, for the most part, we're okay. Maybe we're happy, and maybe we can look to gratitude, like we were talking earlier, which is another great tool that we can pull out of our toolbox, right? The practice of gratitude. I think I was reading scientifically proven that if we practice 2 minutes or more a day of gratitude, it will start to change our bodies internally,
Yes, I
physiologically,
researched that too. You're
making some
absolutely right.
strange, yeah, making some changes, exactly. So who doesn't want to show up from a place of gratitude, right?
Wow.
Simple little things, Tara. I mean, like, of course we can be happy for our health right now, right? We're focusing all on our health, focusing on our family and the love that we have, but also knowing, the super duper simple things like, hey, I've got a bed to sleep in and it's nice and comfy this morning. Or I just had a really great cup of coffee and I closed my eyes and savored that moment because, coffee is it's just
So
such a
warm and inviting.
warm feeling, especially in the morning. I'm like, gotta have my coffee, right? Or like today, it's a nice day, and I'm like, oh wow, look at the blue sky and the nice clouds, and I'm gonna get outside and I'm gonna breathe in some fresh air.
Mhm.
So simple, but you cannot practice gratitude and at the same time practice fear. So your thoughts can oscillate back and forth, right? But choose that feeling, and it's a choice point, right? And you can have 1,000 choice points during the day, right? I'm going to show up differently. How am I going to do that? I'm going to focus on my breath, or I'm going to go and I'm going to talk about something that makes me feel very gratuitous,
Mhm. Absolutely
So,
right.
yeah.
That that's something I do actually every single morning. I love that you shared that.
Yeah,
Any moment that I wake up, it could be like first thing in the morning, if I hear Hudson, my son, or one of the kids waking me up, before I do anything is when I recognize that I open up my eyes and it's another day that I'm blessed here on earth,
yes,
immediately I give my gratitudes to the Lord above. And I thank him
absolutely.
for giving me another amazing day here on earth, especially
Yes.
with everything that's going on.
Yeah, I
First thing
absolutely
every
started
day.
Yep, I started practicing that too, after, you know, when we had gone to the Dare to Dream and Kate shared some tools. And then that just became another tool that I turned to. Like you said, open up
Yep.
my eyes. Thank you. Thank you, God, for this day. I am ever so grateful.
Mhm.
And you know we shouldn't be taking any of those things for granted, because you know, we don't all know, like we're always assuming that we have the next day. And
Yep.
so present moment awareness, no, thank you for this moment right here.
That's so
And
cool.
one of the last tools that I would share, I mean, I have so many, but one of the other ones that I would share is community, right? And so in the meditation yoga world, it's called your Sangha, and it's community. Like, who are your people, right? Who are your people? Who shows up for you, and who do you show up for? And that bond that you have, whether it's your tribe or your front row, you know, whoever it is, like who's in your community, and know that you can call them and you can lean on them during this time,
Yeah.
and they're there for
FaceTime
you.
or Zoom.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? A Zoom call. Like, let's be innovative, you know, like we're all on using technology. We're all on Zoom now. You know, I think in our busy world, in our normal state, we all are so busy and we're texting one another, and we've lost that connection.
Exactly.
And I feel like this is going to this worldwide pandemic is going to help us reset, right? It's going to help us reset and bring us back and notice, you know, what we should be grateful for, who we should be grateful for, how we should be showing up, and where our thoughts are. And so we can cleanse a lot of that out and bring in what we really all do need to help fill ourselves up, fill our cup up, so we can
Yeah,
pour it out to others, right?
absolutely.
So our sangha and our community, whether that's friends or family, how you create it, and also knowing that you have the ability to draw those healthy boundaries, right?
Yep.
So if someone right now is not showing up the way that you want to engage in, it's okay, you know, like. Stop the follow on social media, or not engage in the text, or
I've done it. I've done it.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Just say
I
it's
feel
not
for
serving
my
you
own.
right now.
Yeah.
I think we all need to just look at what we're doing, and who we're doing it with, and draw those healthy boundaries. It's really okay. You don't have to do that right now, or you know, in the future either. You know, maybe sometime it's time to let that go. But you know, really examine who's in your community. I like to say, who's in your front row. Who can I call? Right?
Or vice versa. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's so true. I think, you know, the different kid, the way that we are communicating now lately, I think is just, it's so much more in your heart space, where you're just like, it's a different way of reaching out and loving people now.
Yeah.
And you're right, with that texting, that's like, it's like a closed door. How are you feeling
Yeah.
that emotion? You really can't pull that in to know, okay, what does this message mean?
Yes.
But when you're face to face with somebody, or you're hearing a voice like old times, you
Yeah.
know,
Physical
before
times. I
technology,
know.
before all that, I feel as though like our friendships were so much different then. And it's just so cool to kind of like, even the kids, you know, FaceTiming or Zooming with our whole family now on the
Yes.
screen. And I get it, communication and touching and hugging and all that. Like, we all yearn, and we're going to want that back again. That's going
Yeah.
to, you know, but I feel like this is a different level to connect. And it's just, it's really getting to know each other again. It really
Yeah,
is.
I
Not
agree.
passing or, you
Right.
know, it's just, I personally, I really do appreciate this time right now. And I really do. With everything else that's going on, it's scary, but it's the little things that you're really starting to really truly focus on. And, you know, just sitting back and even looking at my kids and seeing the things that they're learning and just really soaking that in. I'm never going to get that time again.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people are realizing how it's so easy to drift apart from that human connection. And now I'm not looking at it as that we're stuck home. We're doing this for the safety of ourselves and the safety for others. I want to do my part because I want to come out of this, and I want every single person to come out of this okay. I feel that I'm so empathetic when I do allow myself that little snippet of the news. I feel such sadness for people who are going through this right now and are losing loved ones. Um, and so I want to do my part to show up, to slow this down, to flatten the curve, to do whatever we have to do so that we can come out the other side together, stronger, and know that this time at home, it's starting to like really rebuild some relationships with people, with friends, and families are sitting at tables together that probably haven't sat together in a very long
That's
time.
us. That's
Yeah,
truly us because the kids
right.
are everywhere. My
Yeah.
oldest is going to college. My husband was going to work, and here we all are. And breakfast, I think, is our most fun time because it's another beautiful day. We're here. We're all surrounded, having breakfast together, sipping and savoring our coffee. Yeah, there might be
Yeah.
screaming going on
I
here
know,
and
right,
there.
but it's like, I'm loving this and I
But
wouldn't
yeah,
have it
yeah,
any
yeah.
other way,
Sometimes you'll
right?
see on my social media, I'll take a picture of everybody at the table, and it's just that moment, that sacred moment. But I know what craziness is going on behind
Yeah,
that. It's
exactly.
just that still moment.
Yeah. You're like, it's so good, and it makes me feel so happy, and like that moment of like, oh, my heart is so full right now, and those moments totally need to be savored.
Yeah,
There were times when in our busy world where you get a text message and it says, is it okay to call you? And I'm like, when did we lose that, right? When did we lose that? We went from making the physical call on the phone to then the text message, and now the text that says, is it okay to call you?
yeah,
And I'm hoping that some of this, clears that out. It's always okay to call me or connect with me. And if I can't pick up in that moment, I will reconnect with you because
yeah,
you are important to me, but never know you're not a bother and you're not busy.
yes,
I'm not too busy for you.
yeah. Oh, I love that you said that. Yeah, that's definitely true because I get those text messages. Sorry
Yeah.
to bother you, or hey, are you free? Or
Yep.
yeah, if I'm free, I'm going to answer. Just call. You're
Yeah.
right. It's
Exactly.
going to trigger. This is going to trigger our brains to do a lot of different
Yes.
things, and
Yeah.
I'm
I
excited to see what the new is.
Yeah. The new normal, right? As we
And
navigate this.
washing our hands nonstop.
I know. I know.
I
And
am washing
maybe
my hands like
maybe we won't be shaking hands. We'll do it
oh, no, no, no,
doing the
elbows.
fist bump.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Whatever it is gonna be. I'm like, I don't know,
I
but
know,
I am like, I'm one that loves to hug, and that might
me too, I
stop
know.
for a little while. But I don't think we should ever
Yeah,
lose that practice because that really brings, our two hearts together.
it'll be back again.
Yep.
But thank you so much for sharing all of this. I'm going to put all your information below so
Yeah.
everybody can reach out to you. Cheryl, you also have an app too. It's a big app, but it's a portion. You have some of your meditations downloaded on this
I
app.
do. Yeah.
I'm loving, by the way, which thank you for sharing that on your social media page. But I'll put everything below, guys, for you to be able to reach Cheryl. And she's just
Yeah.
truly amazing. And speaking about surrounding yourself with community and the right people, especially during this time.